Ciao Giuventini of the world. You are doing well. The chat is already 100% pumped up because people are saying, what is Giuseppe doing? Is he having pizza or is he having Snickers? Guys, the Snickers are done. I showed you yesterday. It's over with the Snickers. I need new ones. But I hope you're all doing well. Thank you for being here because today I'm not alone. It's long time. It's really long time ago that I had people on the live on my YouTube channel because most of the time I'm doing my thing alone because it's hard to organize everything. But I had an amazing opportunity to be on the Turin Giant podcast a few weeks ago where we spoke about everything and nothing. It was super nice. And speaking in the backstage, we came to a really beautiful thing. Let's do it live. Let's do it live for the people on YouTube so they see our face. And they can also participate because you know that on the channel, interaction is the most important thing. Look at that. I'm speaking like I'm on the Juventus channel. Guys, hope you are doing well. Before saying hello to all the people, I want to say hello to Erfan, to Steven, to Mark, who's saying, Grande Giuseppe and friends. Ciao Ravi, ciao Nicolas, ciao Hatnan, ciao Up, ciao Aiki, my great friend. Ciao Yassin Diaco, Ron Rusitano, Thomas Makluf, his birthday a few days ago that we wished on the Juventus channel. Ciao everyone, but especially a big hello to Farad for the beginning with. How are you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well. How are you? I'm kind of nervous.
I'm pumped up. You don't have to be nervous.
I'm just joking. I'm never nervous.
I woke up like 40 minutes ago because I was tired. I woke up, but luckily everything was prepared. Like a bit Juventus prepared everything with the Super League. So whatever happened, even if you fall asleep for a few seconds, then you are prepared. I'm doing good. Thank you, Farad, for being here.
Thanks for having us, man.
We will have a really great one today, I'm sure.
I wanted to make sure I bring out the whole crew. I said if one of them missing, we're not doing it. So I brought my handsome and powerful co-hosts. It's so good to hang out with you and you know, thank you for having us. Like I already
a pleasure.
Said. Maybe I am a little nervous.
You are? You don't have to be nervous.
People can actually judge whether or not we are handsome in addition to being powerful. Powerful is a little up for debate, but handsome is, I mean, it's objective. We either are or we aren't now. It's in the hands of the people to decide whether or not that's true. Because God always says it on the podcast.
No, you all look handsome, but for sure, of course, Gio is the most handsome one because he has the same haircut as me. Ciao, Gio. Welcome on the channel.
Ciao, Giuseppe. Thanks.
How are you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well, man. I'm doing well. Looking forward to this.
I'm super pumped to also have you on because when I'm listening to Turin Giants, the podcast, I'm also always amazed by your really nice and deep voice, and especially all the interesting things that you are saying about you. So I'm happy that you are here with us to share because we have a nice agenda, guys, today. We'll speak about a lot of things. But first of all, let's wish Giovanni a happy birthday. Happy birthday, buddy.
Yay!
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Is there a chance we might appreciate it? Happy birthday
to you.
All right.
Oh my God.
Happy birthday.
That's okay.
Nobody's
That's
ever
awesome.
sang happy birthday well. It just doesn't. It never comes across good.
No, especially like, oh my God. I mean, you guys, so I appreciate it.
Especially on Zoom, it just sounds so awkward.
You know what's fun when we are live is that people, they can comment live if you are really handsome or not. And Rob is saying, yes, you are handsome, guys. Speaking about you guys, not about me. There is GR7, the GOAT, who is live and he's asking, Pirlo in, Pirlo out. Stay with us because I believe it will be the third or fourth topic we will speak about that. We will speak and you will have the opinion of everyone and people. We have Mo who's in the chat, my great friend El Tactico, but also people starting to wish the best for Gio with a happy birthday. Ciao, Sam. How are you doing?
Very well, man. Guys. Thank you for having us on, man. This is really exciting. This, you know, it's the good thing about a podcast is you can screw up and do over. So live is definitely a change of pace, but no, this will be a lot of fun. I appreciate you.
You know what, Giuseppe? I think we should highlight where the guys are from. So me, Giovanni, from the Midwest. I'm not gonna. I guess Chicago. We can say Chicago.
Dude, yeah, we're in Chicago.
We've mentioned that like a million times.
Yeah.
Sam, he's from our brothers up north in Canada, in Montreal.
Yes, sir.
And I will let the host introduce Matt.
Where are you from, Matt?
So I'm from Boston, so I hold it down for the East Coast U.S. on this podcast. Stoked to be here, man. Loving being here.
Matt, I have a question for you. Does Montreal count as East Coast? Because in our minds, we are East Coast. Or
No, that's why I specified U.S. That's why I said hold it down for U.S. East Coast. But yes, of course. I mean, it's like 5 hours to drive to you. So
yeah, but Boston is like the Montreal of the States, is what we've heard. Is what I've heard before. Is that
great?
Very similar. Yeah, exactly.
Because we need another one.
Incredible hockey rivalry, but yeah, I guess
Yes.
everything in pretty much
every
other area we're pretty similar.
Have you guys noticed how we really do not need Giuseppe? He can take a day off.
I have no idea what you are speaking about. Boston, Chicago, Maria. I'm from Belgium. It's really easy. It's one country. If you want to go to one side or to the other one, you can do it walking. It's really easy. We're a small country. So when you are speaking about east side, west side, I have no idea. But happy to have all US, Canada, whatever, all reunited on a pod. Guys, do we start?
Let's do it. Let's get into it.
The first image and a picture I wanted to show, because we spoke about a birthday, and I want to launch it with that. Today is the birthday of Andrea Barzagli. Look at that. Look at how handsome. He's really handsome. Guys, a few words about Andrea. First, Gio, maybe, because you are sharing his birthday. What are your thoughts about Andrea?
I remember when he got signed, I think it was a winter transfer, and it was either like a free transfer, or I think it was like something like 500,000 euros from, I think, Wolfsburg. And I was like, man, this is just not going to work out, but let's do it.
He was the World Cup winner by then already.
Yeah, but his performances weren't like remembered to be stellar in Germany, and he just flourished, and he just had a renaissance at the tail end of his career, and he was fantastic, honestly. And I think had he not lost like a half step, I really, 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 really think things would have turned out differently in Cardiff, personally. So
I the story, how he came to Juve. Maybe I can explain it in a few words again. He was playing at Wolfsburg in Germany. He already won the title with them in Germany the year before, 2 years before. And actually, the guy was super sad then. He was not playing regularly anymore. He didn't have the passion and the motivation anymore to play. But not only in Wolfsburg, in total. He was about to retire at 30, so super young. And then he received a call from Alessandro Del Piero, and he said, Andrea, we need you at Juve because we are having some disaster years, because you remember, seven plays. We are really playing super bad, and we need you. And he said, what do you mean we need me? He said, yeah, we need you because we have to rebuild. We have to go back and win with Juve. And then he went to Juve. It's not Del Piero for sure that made the agreements, but he was actually the link to call him and to making him excited. And Andrea Barzagli always said it's thanks to Del Piero that at the end I had that much and beautiful career, because he attracted me to Juve. He gave me that, that confidence that sometimes you lose when you are not anymore 100% secure of what you are doing, when you are a bit lost. And Alessandro Del Piero did something amazing, because he called him, he came, and he did amazingly well. So grazie, Alessandro Del Piero, that I believe we can see in some of your shirts, guy. Sam, you have Alessandro on your shirt, right?
I do, yeah. This is the Turin Giants brand. Farhad, hang on, this is a little screwed up here because I'm touching my right pec, and my left pec is what I'm
behind the mic. Yeah,
hold on.
It's the microphone. Look at that, the young Alessandro.
It's Farhad's brand. It's sort of our in-house brand, but Farhad's the one who runs it. It's totally his baby.
It also comes in black.
Very, very, very cool thing that he's got going on. Is that the Marchisio one that you've got?
I have the Marchisio one.
You have the Marchisio one, right, Giuseppe? Yeah.
I have the beautiful Il Principino, one of the first editions. I loved it. I really loved it.
We mentioned Del Piero. I just want to give a shout out to another member of our podcast, Alessandro Del Piero.
Now we see it in real life. Amazing.
He wants to say hi. That's right. This is it. Alessandro approves or disapproves. 1 bell is approved. 2 bells is disapproved.
So that's the standard. So now, if someone else wanting to speak about Andrea Barzagli, or we go into the core of today.
I mean, go for it,
I'll
man.
just say, like, the guy, I didn't have as much high expectations for him, but man, he was a stone in the back there. Like he was. I think I called him once. He was Juve's Iron Man. He showed up every day, and nobody read. When you talk about, like, the ability to read the game, and nobody read the game like him. What he may have lacked in physical ability when it came to speed, he made up for, and just being able to read players well. And it's just players like him, just a different generation. So, happy birthday to Barzagli.
Yeah, when you do it, starting 11 of the last 9 Scudetti, he has to be there.
Definitely,
definitely a legend.
I agree, especially in a 3-man defense.
I think. Yeah, no, sorry, Giuseppe. I think with Andrea Barzagli as well, we tend to romanticize footballers quite a fair bit. Andrea Pirlo being nicknamed Architetto, for example. Just we tend. I guess we do that pretty much all over the world in all sports, but I think especially in football and in Italian football, it's a theme that we see a lot of, and. I don't want to overly romanticize it, but I thought there was some beauty to the fact that he looked like this really grisly guy, with the beard, and he was really stocky, but he was also like a really sweet, gentle creature from Florence, really softly spoken, and yeah, I don't know, and he played like a hard man too. So I always love when there's a little bit of duality to a player. He had that. Makes him a little bit more interesting. It's one of the things that stands out to me when I think of him. In addition to how little we paid for him, which Giovanni got into, but
I agree.
I don't know. There was a nice element of, I don't know. He was a romantic hard man in some ways. I love him.
There are people who are saying, Sam, you look like Sami Khedira. Is that the first time you hear it?
No, I hear it all the time. I hear it all the time. They're losing their minds because I think Farhad said it the first time I came on the pod. And no matter what, I've gone blonde. I'm not naturally blonde. I mean, it'd be pretty funny if I was I dyed my beard. So this is my natural hair color. Doesn't matter what style I do. I've tried shaving my head. I've tried going blonde. I always revert to the mean, which is that's always the common denominator.
He's the Khedira with healthy knees.
Guys, we have here a beautiful one. Wait, let me show it here. Look at that. The women, they won the 4th consecutive Scudetto.
Mm-hmm.
They are machines. Today they won 2-0 versus Napoli. Machines, because people are saying it in the chat as well. And on the chat, when I'm speaking, I always dedicate a bit of time for Juventus Women, because really they are doing so great. Congratulations to them, 4th time in a row. They decided to call it fabulous. Who's watching a bit of Juventus Women? I watch, huh?
Yeah, I do a little bit. I try to catch it, and I think it's also shows that it's helped the women's game in Italy overall, because if you've watched the last Women's World Cup, Italy performed quite well, and it actually achieved results that were not achieved in the past, and they did it with a backbone of Juventus players. So again, it just shows the same like trend that as Juve goes and has successful Italian national players, so does the performance of the national team, both in the men and the women. So good for them.
Giovanni, show us your shirt. You put on such a nice, beautiful shirt. You're not even showing it off.
It was a little bit chilly because I was doing,
because we live in Chicago and it's 49 degrees Fahrenheit.
It's cold in Chicago, but now indoors it's
there you go.
Yeah, no, it's the humankind one actually. And funny story, for work, I was in a video conference actually with Pharrell. For work, it was like he was like a keynote speaker at this this virtual conference I was in, and then the next day there was the announcement of like the partnership with Juventus and his brand Humankind, and I was like, yes, and I love the jersey. It's like one of my favorites.
No, it looks great. Giovanni is an ex rugby player. That's why he gives us the permission to talk bad about other podcasts, because we have him as a muscle.
I'm dying on these
Absolutely not.
comments, man. These comments are great.
Bubble Megan, I didn't want to say anything, but I was like, yes, that's true.
This comment is live from
I know.
Ibrahim. I love it.
Great. I
I'm
love
reading the comments. The comments are what we look like. They want to see if Allegri is coming back, and the third random comment is like CR7 is God. Like just making a point, guys. Just trying to remind you who's good.
There's a really good one.
We will speak about the greatness of Cristiano Ronaldo in a second. So stay with us, guys, because I told you we have a lot of things to speak about, and now we start.
I don't think we're going to be invited back.
Oh yeah, you will, guys. You will, because it's quite funny. But I wanted to show you this one because that's an important one. The ranking of Serie A after explaining the 3 first results of the day. We have Spezia that I actually yesterday said that they would draw versus Napoli. I said 1-1 and I was so wrong because they lost 4-1 with Zelinski. What a player. 2 goals of Osimhen and then Lozano. So 4-1 for them. Udinese, Bologna, who cares? And then the other ones, they won 3-1. If we go to the ranking, and that's an important one, look at that. Because now it's more and more important. It's quite small now, but at the end we can see it. So let's not speak about the first one because they won. Congratulations to them. But Napoli, 1 game up and they have 70 points.
I think we still have a chance. We have a game in hand, right?
No, this is from today, right?
Yeah. Now we have a game in hand. But Atalanta 69, Juve 69, Milan 69, and then we have Lazio, who's actually have 2 games in hand. So it's hard, huh? It will be thriller.
Well,
I saw a comment that says this roster is bloated with average players, and I thought he was talking about us, but then I saw this offseason will be rough.
But both can be true. Both can be true.
That's right.
Listen, it's a huge weekend for a couple of reasons. Not just because the season is about to end and because of how tight it is at the top right now. Because if Lazio do win their game at hand, which isn't a given, they're playing, I think, Torino. So Torino are fairly close to the bottom right now, and both sides are going to be fighting for their. Well, they're going to want to win it for their lives for different reasons. But yeah, let's not assume that that's a given. But if Lazio do go on to win it, I believe 2 points separate 2nd through 6th. If every single going into the weekend, 2 points would have separated 2nd through 6th if Lazio had won their game in hand. Now, the thing is, I mean, we're playing against Milan tomorrow, and I know we're going to get into that game a little bit, but that's a big one because one is going to take points off the other. So, that's something that I think definitely bodes well for the other guys. Someone just said Giovanni looked like old Ronaldo. Is that? I'm sorry, that threw me off. Is that fat Ronaldo or is that Cristiano Ronaldo when he gets older?
I think that's old like fat Ronaldo, Brazilian Ronaldo.
We'll just call him OG Ronaldo, right?
If you get the gangster, you need to get the haircut though.
No, this is just a full fade. So
how have you not gone as Ronaldo in the World Cup final for Halloween?
You could go as Ronaldo crying.
Go
as Ronaldo with your hand in your face.
Because the 2002 Ronaldo, right?
The easiest costume of all time. Just put a piece of hair here.
I'll be right back. Hang on a second. I got something for you guys.
Yeah, because as an Italian, I can't put on a Brazil jersey.
That's true.
I just can't.
That's fair. That's fair.
We can just sit here and read the comments.
I would be terrible at this job because all I would do would just be reading these comments because I love them. I absolutely love the comments.
We have our first pesty comment and 3 clown emojis.
Yeah,
So this is another one. Farhad, do we have any of these in stock still?
Yeah,
I know you made these as a joke, right? But
I have a few left. Yeah.
I don't love the idea of obsessing over another team and
show it.
I mean, I showed it for like a good 10 seconds. I'm just saying, I don't love the idea of making fun of Inter when they're champions, when we have to catch them now. But I mean, it's always nice to look back on happier days when things are looking doom and gloom. Giovanni, so you could wear this shirt, and because the alternative would be like you'd have to wear a shirt of a team he played for. Yeah, just wear that shirt and go around with your head shaved and do this all the time at a Halloween party.
And have a tall, bald man just slam into you every once in a while. Get it?
What?
What?
Who was the Barthez when he slammed into him during the game? All right.
That reference went over our heads.
That was a bit too much. That was
You
a
should
bit
ring
too
the
much.
bell two
I get-
times to
I
yourself.
get two
Yeah,
bells.
two times.
There
We
you go.
disagree with that one, guys.
Sorry.
Guys, another comment because Cristiano Ronaldo, the old Ronaldo, is fun to speak about, but now we have to focus about Juventus Milan tomorrow. An important game, crucial game. We saw the Classifica, the ranking, 69 points for 3 teams. Let's see what Atalanta will do, but it's a must win. We come from a big win versus Udinese, and I will classify it a bit as, or describe it like a miraculous win, because the 83 first minutes were a disaster. And I don't know, to be honest, how confident I am to play tomorrow versus Milan, because when you win a game like that, normally you're 100% boosted, and you go into the game with a lot of positivity because of the achievement that you just did. But if I think back of the 83 first minutes without any solution, really a static game, I don't know. I don't know how confident I am. Not that Milan is in a better shape, but I don't know. So who wants to take the lead about tomorrow's game? And you can speak about everything and the players that we will have. Chiesa returning. Let me a bit know. Matt,
I was just
you're
going to
ready.
mention that
I
I'm
know
just
Farhad
happy to
is
see
ready.
just a couple of sentences. I'm just happy to have Chiesa back. With him on the field, I feel like he gives a push to other players with his passion, with his willingness to win. I really enjoyed watching him this year. Can't wait to see him back next year. Hopefully, him coming back is another push for top 4.
Yeah, I mean the Chiesa, the return of Chiesa is a difference maker. He first off, he has that spark and that ability to change a game, which has been lacking for a lot of the others. Especially when he's not in the formation, teams know they just have to really mark Ronaldo. And where else are those goals coming from? Especially if Dybala is playing, because he hasn't been scoring that much. And Chiesa is the guy that can then come in and, if given a little bit of room, can make something happen. So obviously it's great having him back. It's funny, just like Milan and Juve are kind of in a very similar situation where neither team is playing that great. The form hasn't really been there for either team. So yeah, and of course coming down to the wire, it's when you wish your form would be at its best. I will say that for this, oh God, this is my boy. That's my boy Vinny. I know Vinny, so of course he's hopping in talking.
I actually did a little Niklas Bentner deep dive the other day because I had a moment of lucidity. I had a moment where I was like, wonder where he's at. He's
The
playing,
original Lord.
I think he's playing like the 4th division in Denmark as a joke. Like he's basically semi-retired and he's living it up, man.
Have you guys ever seen the YouTube video of his highlights and goals? It's just crickets.
Right. Well, listen, those were the dark days. Now we need real players to step up. So
Yeah, I mean,
to finish what I was saying, I will say, as bad as Juve has played over this past few months, we seem to be okay against better teams. So hopefully that is the spark that causes us to play well tomorrow.
I mean, it's the game of the season. That's it. In essence, it's the game of the season for both teams. And to echo what Matt said, Juventus seem to rise up and perform when everything's on the line. And you hate to see that because it's, in my opinion, the reason why we're not champions this year. We lost games that we should not have been losing. But yeah, it means everything for this club, and it's going to be a turning point for the next 2-3 years. And if they don't win tomorrow, then it's we're going to have to reassess goals as fans and as a club. So
Yeah.
Do you think, because it's so tight, that even if we lose, we are not mathematically out, but it will be really tough? Is it over? Honestly, is it over if we lose tomorrow?
It might be very difficult psychologically to come back, and it might be something that certainly propels Milan to go on and sneak into the top 4. You'd have a hard time imagining them beating us and just falling off a cliff over the last couple of games, even though they're depleted right now. They're on fumes, injury wise. But I think there's also the fact that we'd probably have to, in the event of, let's not talk like we're expecting to lose, but if it were to happen, we'd have to rely very heavily on other teams to screw up, which isn't what you want. It's not how Juve do things. It's not how any winning side should do things. But let's see. It'll be a great game. I want to focus on the fact that Donnarumma and his whole situation is kind of posing a really interesting dynamic going into the game tomorrow, because Mino Raiola has come out, and I know he's pissed off most football fans. He upset me a lot in the whole Paul Pogba dealing 5 years ago now, but I think he's really gotten on our good side of late in a lot of what he's been doing. I don't know if that's because he's been trying to get Donnarumma to Juve for a while. I think it bodes well if he's still one of the most powerful agents who has clients like Haaland, who we'd like to take a look at in maybe a year or two. Whether or not that's a pipe dream doesn't really matter. But the fact is, he's come out this week and thrown a crazy wrench in the gears by claiming that, or by allowing the rumors to enter the public sphere that Donnarumma might be swapping Milan for Juve ahead of this game. Because I don't know if you guys remember when, I think it was Stefan de Vrij at Lazio. Stefan de Vrij,
Yes.
a couple of years ago, was already confirmed to be going to Inter at the end of the season. And it was in 2018. It was 2017-18. The final match of the season was between Lazio and Inter, as luck would have it, of course, right? It was like a telenovela. And I believe Lazio actually started De Vrij, and De Vrij scored. He conceded a penalty late on in the game, which allowed Inter to go on and win the title. I mean, Milan have to be looking at Donnarumma saying, we have to avoid a situation like that.
But
right?
do you think he will play tomorrow, Sam? Do you think he will play?
Imagine if he didn't. What kind of message does that send? I mean, right?
Absolutely.
So it's almost a lose-lose. You know what's going on in the background, and you start him at the risk of him maybe having his mind elsewhere, or you don't start him and have have the whole world know that something is awry.
I think he has to play. For me, when I see these kind of, because we will speak about Superliga later, but when I see all the things like football is from the fan and etc., the beautiful romantic stories behind it, and then el fútbol del pueblo, that's how I call it, and then you see ultras going behind a 22 years old, putting him quite aggressively saying you don't play if you don't sign. It's something totally crazy. For me, this is not the football of the people. For me, the guy, he has to play, and and supporter has nothing to say about that. Before Farad, and then I let you speak, because there is a message from Aziz John, my great buddy, who's saying, we will knock out Milan from top 4, no doubt. 22 is back, and Inter won because Juve didn't play well. It's also true, absolutely. Champions League first leg is going on. Manchester City 1, Chelsea 0. Half time. Thank you for the information, Aziz John. So, Farad, say what you wanted to say, and maybe you can also liaise with the comment of Aziz John, who's saying we will knock them out of top 4 without any doubt.
Well, I got a couple of things. So the previous game, I feel like that win against Udinese was what we needed. So now it's the mentality has changed. Now we just need to finish the job. Also wanted to mention about Donnarumma and the whole thing with the ultras, and this isn't the 80s or 90s anymore. The game is highly corporate. So even if you scare the guy into, hey, there will be repercussions, you're not allowed to play, nothing will happen. If he even mentions it to his bosses, they're going to be like, listen, you're talking about a multi-million-dollar corporation. We will not be scared of a group of fans telling you not to play. It's just it's like from the 80s and 90s. It's still the mentality of the Italian fans. And if you see comments, if anything like that happens, like when the ultras were talking to Dybala, I don't know if you guys remember before the game against Milan, a few years ago when Higuain scored the winning goal, there was not a lot of good comments under that, because people feel like this isn't the time to scare players if you're real fans, So that's my poorly illustrated point.
because I saw a comment from Jeff Costello saying, first of all, why are we going through behind Donnarumma? Would you take him, Farad?
Age, absolutely. Age, talent. He's moved on. I think it's time for him to improve, and the only place to go would be Juve if he wants to stay in Italy.
He's a great goalkeeper. He's
a great keeper. People make fun of his mistakes and his age and stuff, but I mean, some of the saves we've seen, and the mentality he will learn at Juve, and he's still only 11, so that's the his age is the magic.
No, of course.
Feels like he's been like 8 years old forever. No.
Gio, you wanted to add the comment?
Yeah, I mean, I remember Buffon at Parma making silly mistakes, and his first 2 years at Juventus made like pedestrian mistakes. And so what? How old is Donnarumma? 22, I think. 21, 22. Okay.
Yeah.
For him, you make the sacrifice of high wages, but you lock up a generational talent for the next 15 years that's going to pay in spades from so many angles, and yeah, that's it. And as Farad said, like right now he's still growing as a player, and putting him in an environment like Juventus, it's just gonna elevate him probably into the best goalkeeper in the world.
Beast, absolute beast mode. And I don't think, sorry, but Giuseppe, I don't think Szczesny did himself any favors with this season's goalkeeping.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely.
And we were talking about it too.
He was top 3 keepers maybe last couple of years, but this year, just with the formation of the wall and the easy goals that he let in, I don't think he didn't do himself any favors.
I made a big mistake in the year 2000 2001 when Buffon was about to come, and I was totally against it because I was also saying, too many mistakes, and also a goalkeeper that was doing a more entertainment than really being consistent. But the guy was super young, and it's normal because you want to show off and so on. How wrong was I at the time? So, and I see a bit the story of Donnarumma, with the big difference that Buffon was super young when he came to Juve, and Donnarumma is already Donnarumma. That's a bit a big difference, so I would go perfectly on it. I want to do a game with you guys, and first of all, I want to say hello to my great from Jakarta, Andar Sofian, who's there, who's saying everyone is available.
What's up, buddy?
Andar is the buddy from everyone.
He's a great listener. Yes, he's
so.
That's for you, buddy.
I want to do a small game. I have my whiteboard. Let's try to find the starting 11 of tomorrow, because everyone is available. So let me you go, guys. Huh?
When was the last time our whole 11 was available?
That's a great question. I couldn't recall the last time. But so are we doing the starting 11 we want, or the starting 11 we think is going to go out? Because those are two different things.
Yeah, because if it's the starting 11 that we want, Giovanni's going to put 11 cuadrados all over the pitch.
I'm right, man.
And Allegri as a coach.
Yeah,
I say we start Pinsoglio.
Yeah, it's just my opinion, bro.
That's the first question, because we just spoke about goalkeepers. Who do we start with, Buffon or with Szczesny?
Giuseppe, is it going to read backwards as you write on the?
No, it's okay. You'll see.
You will see.
That's fine. Yeah, don't worry about these silly questions, Sam.
Sorry, we'll leave the logistics aside.
Wait, I can see Giuseppe's followers decreasing.
Yeah.
Actually, not.
Actually, let the clowns in. I mean, it's going to be Szczesny.
Szczesny?
Yeah. As much as
the one we think will happen, not the one we want. So you can read it. Oh, great. And then, how do we play in defense?
Probably line up with a back 4.
Danilo or Quadrado?
Quadrado probably starts. Yeah, Quadrado probably starts. Yeah, for sure.
So here, Quadrado.
Mm-hmm. Do we have Danilo playing with De Ligt, or do we have Bonucci? Bonucci's got to play. It's got to be Bonucci and De Ligt.
I agree with Gio. I think it will be Chiellini, De Ligt.
That's where I'm at. Chiellini's Ibra is just the matchup, right? Like those two are going to battle. So
Oh yeah.
Are they like 90 in between each other?
It doesn't matter, man. It's just a battle of the giants, man. I want to.
That's actually not the battle. Sorry, Joe.
Go ahead. What's up?
No, I was just going to say it's not a bad shout. Chiellini against Zlatan. Sorry, finish your point. Sorry, bro.
No, 100%. I think it's going to be De Ligt and Chiellini. And I think because Chiellini is just psychologically, and he's done so many of these games. And I think he provides, to me, better leadership than Bonucci does. I can't trust Bonucci.
100%.
I cannot trust him. So, to me, Chiellini, please.
Especially not against Milan. I mean, but Bonucci's become a bit of a mental midget at times. And I mean, in a game against Milan, I mean, listen, it's an empty stadium. If it was at the San Siro, we're playing at home tomorrow. We know.
Yes.
Yeah.
In the event that it were a game, anyway. In the event that it were a game at San Siro, full stands, I don't know that I'd feel super confident with Bonucci right now in his ability to manage the level of hate that he would get. I know that he's worked on his psychological game quite a fair bit, like with crazy, with an insane sports psychologist, and I know he's really struggled with that over the past couple of years. I don't know.
You guys are crazy if you think Bonucci is not going to start. Honestly, he's just going to start.
Have we ever seen the? Have we ever seen the
starter?
Let's vote, and then we speak about the left back because I'm not sure yet. Because we said Cuadrado here, but so that means Danilo out.
Probably.
Okay. So what about here? The De Ligt and Chiellini. I vote for them.
Oh,
I'm sold on the idea. I don't know if it'll happen. Have we ever seen that pairing?
You lost, Sam. You lost. It's over. And then who's
no,
going?
I agree with that pairing. I agree. I'm saying, have we seen that pairing ever? I'm just saying it's a.
Yeah,
I don't know.
We have.
How many times have we seen?
Not a lot.
How many times have we seen Chiellini and De Ligt play?
We saw it 4 times when Bonucci was not 100% fit.
It's not happened often. Yeah.
No, it doesn't happen often.
And it's on the other side, we changed formation 34 times on 34. So
yeah, that's another that's another thing.
Yeah, left back is gonna be Alexandro.
It's gonna be Sandro.
Has to be.
It's this.
We don't go for Bernardeschi.
I know after that Udinese, that spin move thing that he did, that was
Sturaro 2.0.
And then how do we play here? We play in a 4-4-2, I believe.
Yeah. Well, it's like a 4. Who's coming
guys, am I gonna play?
I'm pissed off with him, but that's another story. But
does he have way more hair than you?
Is that why?
No, as well. That's another part of the story. But no, I feel he's a bit he's feeling at ease. He's speaking a bit too much.
With a personal photographer.
Yeah. Was it that comments about the formations being switched up too much and how he was hopping on the DeMarcus Beasley podcast or whatever?
Yeah, seriously, guy, he's at how old is he? 2021. If you speak about the old generation Juve, he would come and just sit on the bench and maybe he would have been playing a few minutes, but come on. No, I don't like that some people now they start to speak a bit too much.
Yeah, I mean the midfield. So to start this game, midfield, we're going to end up with Rabiot and Bentancur.
Yeah.
But that's not necessarily what I want. Just,
you don't think Arthur gets the nod over Bentancur?
No,
Rabiot has to start after the goal that he set up for Cristiano last week. So that's for sure.
Yeah.
Arthur
is not full. He's not fully back from injury, I don't think. So Pirlo is not going to risk him. He might put him in for 20 minutes at the end, but no, it's
when we're up 3-0 already.
You know what I wonder? I wonder if maybe Danilo starts at right back and Cuadrado plays further up the pitch. I don't think that'll happen because I think we'll probably see Chiesa playing in the wide right role. So I think
Chiesa will play on the left.
Yeah, Chiesa will play on the left. I agree with you. So Danilo, Danilo on the right back, and then we'll have Cuadrado. Yeah,
that makes more sense.
Perfect.
That would be more on brand.
And then it's to me, Morata, Ronaldo. Boom.
Who's for Morata, Ronaldo tomorrow?
I'll be okay with that.
I'd like to see Paulo start with Ronaldo up top. I've enjoyed that whenever it's happened. I know Paulo hasn't really got into. I know Paulito hasn't really got into his flow this year. I don't know. I'd like to see it. I don't know that it'll happen. He didn't have a great game last week.
Paulo
Right.
Dybala is not starting tomorrow, or in my opinion. So it's Morata, Ronaldo. But I will say that Dybala has always performed against Milan. And
Yeah.
so if there's anybody that I want coming off the bench with a little bit of anger for not having started is Dybala. Drop him in, and then you also drop in a Kulusevski. You drop in a McKennie. That's who I want to see come in when Milan's legs are tired and they don't have anybody to come up from the bench. You just kill him with those switches. Like it's done. Like Dybala, Kulusevski,
you throw Dybala and McKennie in the 65th minute. Like I think that's
done.
really good. That's those players come in and they add just such a dynamic aspect that can really put Milan on their back.
Yeah, the defense isn't coming off. That back four is on to stay probably all the way through. So go on. Sorry. No. I was gonna say I can see Kulusevski coming on maybe for like Cuadrado and maybe Dybala and one midfielder. If that's Arthur, if that's McKennie, I guess we'll see how the game pans out.
I like Nuka Cola. His comment. It's almost end of the season. We're still speculating the starting 11.
It's so true.
Yeah,
It's true.
No, it's because it's the first time we have all the players available. So
the team is still warming up. They think it's the beginning.
Watch us just steamroll teams now. The last 3 games of the season. Now that we've got a full 11, and Pirlo stays on the job and says, "See what I can do. This is what we've been missing."
Even if we have
on the other hand, guys, a lot of people are saying Arthur is fit and we will need him. If really fit, do you think he can start tomorrow?
I would love to see him start. I think he offers something in the midfield that no other midfielder has, but it's going to be, is he fit or is he fit?
Fit-ish.
And that's wrong with a lot of players like McKennie. Is he really 100% fit? We have Ramsey. Is he really 100% fit?
Mm-hmm.
So we have all of the players available. But
Ramsey's never fully fit. Yeah, if Farhad and I were talking about that on the pod the other day, I'd rather get what Arthur offers than Bentancur in a 2-man pivot system. I like Bentancur a lot, but he's been asked to do too much. I think without the shielding of like a Pjanic and someone else to cover. He's not the regista type. We thought he might be. It's obvious that he overthinks it when he tries to come back and claim the ball. So I'd rather see Arthur in that role if one guy is going to be the guy to collect and play. I don't know that'll happen. Pirlo has really been married to the idea of playing Bentancur whenever he can this year. And that's it. I don't know.
Can we just give a shout out to... Can I give a... Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Go.
No, I'm not interrupting the host. Go ahead.
No, I want to say, first of all, thank you for Aziz John to support the channel, because that's amazing. Really, seriously. Thank you, buddy.
So how does that work? How does that work? Because we need to open a YouTube channel.
How does it work? It's quite easy. On YouTube, you have the opportunity, and I say it's absolutely not a blind, because I try to read all the messages. It's not easy. And one day I will finish like Beppe Marotta, looking at the camera and looking at the comments. But sometimes the comments go really fast, and then it's quite impossible, and you miss some comments. So if you really want to highlight your comment, you can. If you have a monetized channel, people can pay a few euros, like a coffee, and then their message are highlighted.
All right.
And then we say thank you, and then for sure we read them, and we are sure we are not missing them. So thank you for all the people that are always sponsoring the channel. But before I let you speak, Farhad, Ibrahim is asking, because we spoke a lot, but is that possible? Ronaldo, Dybala, Morata, can they play, and how together?
Yeah, that's a tough one. I don't think they can, because I know Dybala loves to drop back behind the strikers, but he's just better when he's in the box. And it doesn't really work out with the three of them. As much as I love Dybala and Morata, it's just like they kind of both need to do the same thing.
Yeah,
even though Dybala doesn't want to. He wants to be playing next to the midfielders.
One of them needs to sit out, and I think oddly enough, the couple with the most potential, right, to me is Dybala and Morata. I think they more so than Dybala and Ronaldo complement each other's skills. So but yeah, it's impossible to have all three of them on the field at the same time consistently, because I feel like they just overlap each other too much. Or Dybala is forced to start from behind, and then yeah, he's just not been good in that role.
My big problem is that if Pirlo turns his back, who's on the bench? Who's on the bench to make the difference? That's my
Yeah.
biggest problem starting the three of them. And Mark is saying Ronaldo, Felix Correa. There was a lot of hype around Fagioli. Now we saw for the first time Felix Correa starting. He played 7 minutes, or not even 7 minutes. What are your thoughts about Felix Correa hype at the moment? Even I love the guy, yeah, but
We haven't seen enough of him. We
Yeah,
haven't.
hype is hype for a reason.
Yeah. That's all. Yeah, that's all it is. People love the idea. People love the idea of novelty. People love the idea of someone new coming in, and there's an expression in Italian, spaccando tutto. We want someone to come in and just blow our minds. I think people are hoping for that with Fagioli because he's a homegrown kid. He's Italian. People like to see Italians play for Juve. It makes sense. People are longing for Claudio Marchisio. He's been gone a couple of years, and here he is humbly appearing on. I was gonna say on Giuseppe's T-shirt, but yeah, there he is. There he is as well. Yeah, exactly. He's become he became a cult figure off the basis of the fact that he was this beautiful man, this beautiful player from from the city to play for. So people miss that sort of thing. People like narrative. People like a young player coming in and seizing on opportunity in a time of desperate need. And Felix Correa, that guy. I mean, it's very tough. It's very tough to achieve that sort of thing at Juventus. That's why it was very impressive that Moise Kean achieved what he achieved.
Yeah, I mean, Felix Correa is 20 years old, so I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, I hope he starts every game, but I do hope he becomes a great player for Juve, obviously. And it was he showed some really cool spark on the field, but it's only 7 minutes.
I really hope this becomes a thing. Post pandemic dealings are like using more of homegrown players, younger players. I hope that becomes a thing again because it's exciting to see someone starting new and see their career blossom. And there's teams to do it so well, and I really hope Juve becomes one of those teams where it's, thank God Juve is from Italy. We have so many talented players. I really hope that becomes a thing where we're growing players again.
Are you saying post-pandemic because of the fact that you suspect that teams might have a harder time? Yeah, as Giovanni's saying, non ci sono I soldi. That's like one of his favorite expressions on the podcast now. So is it because of the fact that there wouldn't be as much expendable? Is that what you're referring to?
Yeah, I mean, hopefully, hopefully it will push teams to develop players more a little bit as opposed to buying expensive players.
Look at that video because I want to bring in some luck, and then tomorrow he will enter and he will spaccare tutto. Look at that video.
Olá, Marco e Giuseppe. Sou Felix Correia, jogador da Juventus. Estou muito feliz por vocês falarem do meu país e falarem bem. Espero que tenham tudo bom e gosto muito de vocês.
This
Look
was
at
the
that.
great thing of Felix Correa when he was saying hello to me.
Start him.
Start him. Start him.
Give him a contract. Give him an
It's
extension.
beautiful to have these kind of videos. They are sending
That's
them. They are saying hello to everyone. They are and speaking in Portuguese before he started. So tomorrow, Felix Correa, he will be boom, 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 starting, and maybe he will play like the last 2 minutes. Speaking about Dybala, because you put him on the bench, guys, so that means that you believe that Ronaldo will hit 100 before Dybala.
Yes.
Let us know in the comment, guys. Who will be the first?
Let me
Cristiano
guess who they're gonna post.
or Paulo Dybala. You never know. So we are all agreed that Cristiano Ronaldo will be first.
Yes.
Can we just appreciate the fact how fast it took Ronaldo to get there? It's just insane.
3 years.
Yeah, I mean, Dybala's been on the team for 5-6 years now, and he's just, I mean, different. We can go into the details about the position and assists and stuff like that, but it's still pretty crazy how Ronaldo got there so fast.
It's crazy, yeah. It's really crazy. And do you think, because I believe, I don't know, maybe I'm crazy, yeah, but I believe that when it was really getting closer, and when Dybala scored his goal versus Napoli, and he was at 99, do you think that he frustrated Cristiano Ronaldo a lot, and that his performances dropped because he was pissed off that he would probably not reach it before Dybala?
If anything, it would be the opposite, in my opinion. Like, knowing the type of competitor Ronaldo is, he would have just sunk in even deeper into trying to like reach 100 before Dybala, personally. So I just don't know like what happened with his dry spell. I mean, it happens, right? We're talking about it as if, I mean, it's very odd coming from Ronaldo, right? It happens to a lot of strikers, but it was very hard coming from Ronaldo, and it impacted the game because he's this season he's been especially the one carrying Juventus and helping out like Pirlo, to be honest.
You know what? I think I'm going to change my opinion about Morata. I think Dybala should start, definitely, and I think he will.
Because that can be a big boost, huh? Because both of them want to score.
I mean,
Great marketing.
I'd rather have, you know, a comfortable lead before halftime, and you can't deny that Dybala really, really wants to score. Maybe him and Ronaldo, you know, 2 goals up, you know, each with 1 goal before halftime, and then we kind of bring in the players that will tire out Milan even more. And I think Sam mentioned the fact that they're kind of depleted due to injuries, and yeah, I feel I would love to see Dybala start. He likes score against Milan, so I think it will be fair to give him a chance.
Okay. I'm trying to find an image. I will when I find it, I will put it on. So we continue, guys. Another topic that I wanted to talk with you is this one. Wait, let me put it on.
Morata 100 offside.
That I can believe.
Morata 100 offside is possible. That's an opportunity.
That's going to happen first.
I love these comments. This is so fun. Can we come back tomorrow?
we can do it whatever. Here tomorrow, people are saying, or Tutto Sport is saying, it will be CR7 against Ibrahimovic. Who's losing is out. Effect of Cristiano Ronaldo to not lose the Champions League, and then the sprint of Ibra because they are keeping believing in his goal and his charisma. So what about Ibrahimovic that never scored at the Allianz Stadium, guys? Do you think is a still dangerous man?
Yes.
Ibra? Yes.
I mean, he only played like what, 2 seasons now when he would have had an opportunity to, right? I think 2011, 12, and last year and this year. Last year from January, but he's someone who. Sorry, am I hearing an echo?
No.
Okay, maybe it's just me. No, he's someone who he's someone who you're gonna know. I mean, I think if you're Juventus, you got to go into it. I don't care how old he is. He's a guy who you know is, as he's done over the past year, he's going to look to really rally the troops there. I mean, I know he's got those kids basically idolizing him, looking up to him, and I think that he understands probably better than anyone else in that side what Juve means. He understands what Milan means, because Milan means something too, right? They're a very powerful club in the Italian context. I think he understands how much it would mean for them to get back in the Champions League. I could see him having a monster game tomorrow. I'd be really afraid of that prospect.
That's why you put De Ligt on him. You don't put old man Chiellini on him. Sorry.
That's what I was looking for. Is this an opportunity tomorrow? And then we stop speaking about it. Dybala and Cristiano Ronaldo simultaneously.
100% if that happened, yeah. Let's do it.
That would be amazing. Can you imagine? Would be beautiful.
Yeah.
No?
One's left-footed, one's right-footed. It's perfect.
It's
perfect.
100%.
That's funny.
I'm not gonna bring it up. If you guys want to find out the secret to Giuseppe's success, you should listen to our podcast, the one we recorded with him. Can I plug the podcast? Just Spotify, SoundCloud, iTunes, anywhere you can get podcasts. The one with Giuseppe was really fun. Thanks for coming on to talk to us again, man. I know you mentioned it, but I just wanted to say thank you again.
No, it was a real pleasure. You know, we're
planning a next one too.
Well, yeah, we will doing a next one after the Coppa Italia, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, before the last game of the season, maybe it will be big decisive, of course. So no, I'm curious. But thank you, guys. I will put in the description. I will put also, because I didn't do it yet, but I will put all the links where you can listen to the podcast of Turin Giants. I love it. So after the video, I put the links, and then you can easily find them. Speaking about,
I think Matt's been quiet. I think next question should go to
Oh,
him.
next question has to go to me.
yeah,
Okay.
the next one, and it's not an easy one, huh?
Right.
Here, Matt, for you, I show you the picture. Who next season?
Oh. Why would you
All
give me
right,
this
I'm
one?
going on mute. This is all.
Oh my god. Okay. So I know.
Go by elimination.
Okay. Wait. No. It's between Allegri, Zidane, and Pirlo for me. The other three get out of here. Like that's.
Okay, so we keep
And-
out Gasperini, Spalletti, and Inzaghi.
You
Yeah.
would kick out Gasperini,
Yes, I would.
like straight up at the same
straight up.
like, as quickly as you would kick out Spalletti.
No. Listen, Gasperini is a fantastic coach. I think what we would get with Gasperini may be similar to kind of what we got with Sarri, and it wouldn't be necessarily the best fit at Juve. No, this is not. I will not to be as like the same for Spalletti and Inzaghi. Gasperini is a fantastic coach, like no doubt. I just don't think he'd be a great fit at Juve. You asked me what my dream scenario is. Honestly, I'm Team Zidane.
I'll take a stab at this.
I'm
I'll
Team
take a
Zidane.
stab at this. Giuseppe.
Oh, let me guess.
No, for real. We'll go sequentially by elimination. as
Go,
Giuseppe
Joe.
asked.
Wait, I put it back, Gio.
Okay. So, I say Spalletti out because honestly, out of all of them, just he's like a very peculiar guy to work with, and I don't think character-wise he would veg well with the club personally. Simone Inzaghi, I think, but he has some potential, but he's always fallen just short with Lazio, and some might argue that it's the roster and the type of club that Lazio is, but is it maybe still just a Simone Inzaghi problem? So, right, and we cannot take another risk of not having like a fully successful season. Pirlo, man, no, just no. I don't think he's done enough this season. And it's not all his fault, but ultimately it's the result that counts. Gasperini, I would enjoy having Gasperini, but I don't think Gasperini had left Juve with like a good, just I feel like there's rumors that he expected to get offered the coaching job as Juve got back into Serie A, but he didn't. So he went, I think, to Genoa and whatnot, and then I think it's like Zidane and Allegri, and between them, I'd love both, but I'm Team Allegri personally. So that's it.
Guys, I give the lead to Farad for 3 minutes. I need to go to the bathroom.
Listen,
And he just pieced. Yeah, what's
he
up?
just was like, all right, I'm out.
I hope nobody jumps on right now when Giuseppe's not even on. People are gonna be like, "Who are these four idiots?" If anyone is listening to the podcast, they wouldn't even recognize us, right? They only know our voices.
now watch all the viewers are like, yeah, we're out.
Yeah,
Giovanni, maybe for the listeners, I know we've all discussed this like privately, but Farhad, you're on mute, bro. Joe,
sorry.
No,
See how great of a host I am.
Exactly. No, Giovanni, you've said in our group chat that you think like anyone hoping for Zidane is just looking to have.
Oh.
They're basically rolling the dice and hoping to catch lightning in a bottle twice, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Or hoping that lightning strikes twice, right?
Yeah, there's very rare occurrences of coaches repeating wins in the Champions League. In multiple teams. There's very few, like Ancelotti, Mourinho, potentially Guardiola, but I don't remember many others, to be honest.
Let me just mention something. Giovanni said that next year will be a difficult year for whoever the coach is because we must win. Like this year, people kind of make peace with the fact that this is the transition period. We made a mistake with a coach who doesn't have any experience. Next year, let's just get rid of all the other ones because Inzaghi is not going to be our coach. Spalletti is not going to be our coach. So obviously the two is Zidane and Allegri. Allegri's pluses are he already knows the team, knows a lot of the players, knows the management. He's ready to come back and kind of reclaim the spot. Zidane's minuses are he's only coached one team. He knows the environment there. He is beloved by Juve fans, but obviously This is a different role, and that transition period, it will be difficult for him with the expectations in the new club with the new fans. I feel like Allegri will kind of bypass that period of settling down at the club and just get straight to work. And we are, like Giovanni said, we can't afford to drop any more silly points. And I feel like Allegri already has like a plan in mind. If I'm just I mean, that's Zidane needs a lot of money. Zidane will. I don't know where he goes. I don't even know if they're going to fire him. But
no, I don't think nobody. Real Madrid wouldn't fire him. It's a matter. Look, ultimately, it boils down to this: like, what does Zidane want to do? Does Zidane want to quit? I haven't heard any rumors of it, right? So, if I were in charge of Juventus, I would look at the situation and say, okay, it's a very delicate time financially. It's a very delicate time reputationally when it comes to the whole situation with the Super League. And the club cannot afford any missteps. And the person that, to me, guarantees stability, consistency, and results is Allegri. So I go with him because he also understands how to win immediately in Italy, and that's what matters. Because if you go back in top, right away, psychologically, you beat down your opponents. You don't want Inter on a high. I care zero about them repeating. They have to be done. You won this time. You won on the back of Juventus brains, right, and pedigree in Conte and Marotta, and that's it. Now it's back us again.
We're forgetting who took Juve to the Champions League final in his first year without knowing the team, without knowing
with the team.
I mean,
€10. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. And what, like a week or 3 days before the do you guys want to see what? Yeah,
Conte is never coming back to Juventus. As long as Andrea Agnelli is as the president, he's never coming back to Juventus. And he might not even come back even without Agnelli at the top. I think he's just soured the relationships with the family in general. So,
yeah, if you guys don't believe us, this is what our thread on WhatsApp looks like. This is daily occurrence from Giovanni.
That one picture every time news comes out, it's Giovanni with that shit-eating grin.
It's a great picture. And look, like, personally, right? I played competitive sports in university and then afterwards, and to me, like I've had a variety of coaches, and to me, Allegri is like the perfect. To me, it's like he embodies like the perfect coach for any type of player, because he has like mostly like ways of like engaging them and pushing them, right? He always compliments them on like whenever they give it their best and maybe fall short, and he takes egg on his face. But when they do well but they mess up something, he goes down on them hard, big time. So
Mad Max.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like a coach that doesn't make it. I like a coach when he doesn't make it all about himself. You know, Mourinho, everyone is praising him right now. Roma, and he hasn't played a single game. I mean, hasn't coached a single game. This is going to be a mess at Roma.
Hey guys, I interrupt a second because I receive a lot of love message. Thank you all the people for the love. But it's also the birthday of Abhinav. So Abhinav, you have the same birthday as Andrea Barzagli and as Giovanni here, because you have 3 people that are having the birthdays. Happy birthday to Abhinav 17.
Yeah,
happy birthday, buddy. Really happy. I wish you really the best.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday, man.
I want to see how old he's turning.
Eddie is saying that I should be the new coach. I think he's totally correct. No, I love Allegri. I have a big passion for Massimiliano, and Matt is back as well. So I have a big passion for Allegri, but I believe that if you go for another type of football, if you take a decision and you go for it at a certain moment, then there is, Allegri, I enjoyed because so many titles in 5 years, and but the last year was so boring, boring football. It is true, and I don't care because we win, and I have a mentality where winning is more important than the entertainment. But on the other hand, Andrea Agnelli is speaking so much about new generation coming to football. He's speaking about the new way of living and experience football, where if they are annoy themselves, they change channel, because you have so many offer in terms of football, but also gaming. You have it's not like 20 years ago where if you had chance, you could watch one game. Today you have so many, and it's a generation where they are used to Netflix, to Zap, to games, to Twitch now, where they need interaction and entertainment. If we go back to Massimiliano Allegri, I think we have to say goodbye to what we wanted to attract all the new generation fans. That's what I think. I'm not sure.
But do you think that last year? I 100% agree with you. It was very boring. It was like it was very hard to watch those Juve. In spite of the fact that they won, but is it on Allegri, or ultimately is it on the players? Because we saw after, even with Sarri, they didn't play like. I mean, I maybe saw 3 games of Sarri ball, and then with Pirlo. So is it a problem that, as Allegri said in his in his post-mortem of him leaving Juventus, right? He needed a generational change in key parts of the team. So ultimately, like, we can look. I think that Allegri is so versatile as a coach that it's not beyond his capacity to put out a good-looking game if he has the players for it, in my opinion.
But
and you know what else Zidane is going to bring with him. You know what he's going to bring with him. He's going to bring his whole army of Real Madrid fans who are just going to be negative about everything Juve does. That we're tarnishing his. Just saying. I mean, that's not the reason, but that will happen. So
listen, Allegri is the least risky option. He's the safe bet here. That's clear for a couple of the reasons that you guys got into. The fact that he doesn't necessarily have a brand of football that he plays, so you don't necessarily know what you're going to get. I actually think that's his strength. I think that's one of the things that makes him the less risky option. The fact that you know what you're getting, not necessarily in the brand of football, but in the philosophy of just doing whatever you have to do to win, and winning at all costs, which is so cliche, but it's incredibly important. It's incredibly important. I
have a video for all the Allegri fans, guys.
I just sent this to Giuseppe.
I would flirt with him. I'm not going to.
Dude, I mean, you guys joke around, but when was the last time we saw Pirlo so mad? And this season, he had plenty of chances to be mad at his team. I would love to see him throw his jacket once,
But when it's Zinedine Zidane mad, it's the same type of introvert.
Yeah, and here's the thing, right? Like, if you go and we tally up the points lost with Fiorentina and some other stupid games like Benevento, like if Allegri were at Juventus and it happened once, that can happen. It might happen twice. Okay. Third time, he would have skinned all of the players alive. Skinned all of them. And Juventus would not have lost another stupid game like that again. Whether it was boring or not boring, but ultimately, that's how it wins championship. One great thing about Allegri is he would, right around February, January, he would bring out his little calculator and tell you how many points one needed to win the championship. And he was dead right every year.
I feel like also Allegri's press conferences, you can watch and learn something, as opposed to a press conference that is just, words that are, typical
talking points from corporate communication.
Yep. I really enjoyed him as a coach because he's a part of the team. He makes you feel like part of the team. But anyway, do we have another topic? I think we've been on this topic for a while now.
Well, it's
Yeah.
a big topic. It's a huge. It's like
one of the biggest things that people are going to talk about this for this rest of the season till it's decided. But I agree.
I believe we have to finish with Andrea Pirlo this season, whatever happened, even tomorrow, because
yes,
it is
of course.
no way that you change like 3 days before Sassuolo, 3 days before Inter. You started with one, you finished. The only thing that I want to say to people that are also writing, because I saw some comments like Pirlo to under 23 or the assistant of the new coach. Pirlo, assistant of a new coach, and especially Allegri, is impossible. First of all, he ran away from Milan when Allegri was there. He ran away from Juve when Allegri was there, and they have totally opposite way of understanding football. So it makes totally no sense. And imagine Pirlo after 1 year being in charge. It's not like, you finished 2 months waiting for a new coach. No, he was coach number 1. So imagine entering the locker rooms after 1 year being in charge. It's not possible. And also under 23, it's hard for the image of a World Cup winner as Pirlo. For me, if Pirlo or he remains, and that's one thing, or he leaves and then he starts his career like Pippo Inzaghi did, after Milan, going and starting from the bottom and grew up.
That's what I would see. What he would do is he would leave and go somewhere else.
You can't fault him for it either, right? Like if Carlo Ancelotti was coming back as the coach, maybe then he would take a back seat for a second, do literally what Zidane did, which is understudy Carlo Ancelotti.
But it was different, because Zidane, he was not first trainer and then became assistant. It's I would not.
Yeah,
I would not do it.
Yeah. Can we just acknowledge that he really didn't do that bad for a coach with no experience? I think he did pretty well. He's beat some strong teams. There were some great performances, but obviously in the long run, it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. He did poorly, but I think he did pretty well.
Yeah.
Let's speak a bit about Mercato, guys, if you want to.
Let's do this.
L'incedibile De Ligt. De Ligt is not for sale. Juventus already said no to Chelsea and Barca. He's the one that Juventus doesn't want to sell and will not sell. And then we have also other players. They are speaking about here, Federico Chiesa. Let me share the other image just to show you who Juventus doesn't want to. So we have Matthijs de Ligt, we have Federico Chiesa, and Kulusevski that will remain whatever happens. Guys, are you agree with the 3 players to keep them? Who would you keep at all cost, and who would you sell?
And so
cost, de Ligt, Chiesa, Kulusevski, those 3 guys.
Definitely. McKinney.
Let me see. Yeah, I would still keep McKennie for a few reasons, right? He could potentially have a high ceiling, but
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
You have a sticker for everyone.
Yeah. I haven't busted out. I haven't busted out.
What was
I haven't busted out this yet.
Okay,
Boom.
I have the same for Rad. Look.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay. See, I hook up my homies, man.
If they come for 40 million for McKennie, you do it or not?
No,
I don't think so.
Because you're American.
That is a lot of money, but no.
No.
What did we pay?
Absolutely not.
22 million
No, with
euro.
the potential, you have to you're netting only like 20 million, because I think if you look at all the clauses and bonuses, like McKennie could cost up to like 25, 27. So for 40 million, you're only making what, 13? No. Not
McKennie already owns a Ferrari. I don't think. I think
he's still not about that.
He's not going to move his car.
Would you be happier if he owned a Tesla? Like that would be the more responsible adult.
Yeah.
Like
a Prius, like what?
or an Alfa Romeo, maybe, to kind of stay with it. I mean, listen, a Ferrari is a company car, so you can't.
Yeah, he gets to park in the parking lot. But look, McKennie, he has so much potential, not just as a player on the field with good coaching, but he has like a ton of brand potential, I think, and Juve is looking at stuff like that. He's a young player. He's a black player. He's an American player. He's active on Twitter and social media. That's another aspect of growth.
He should be a bit less active, ultimately.
Fair enough, but right.
And stopping the party.
Yeah.
Right? No, I agreed.
to what
But
you
it's
said
part
though,
of
they're all
learning.
those 4 players are all 22 and under, right? Like
Yeah.
we said, yeah. So like they're all young and they have potential. And so you're talking about selling McKennie now for 20 million plus Valenza, or you can maybe get 30 or 40 for him later on. Who knows? So I think hold on to him, and then Delict, Chiesa, Kulusevski. No, well, Delict and Chiesa, like no, like
We-
I give,
don't-
I give you
that's
3
coming.
names.
These are-
Farad.
These are not the players we need to get rid of.
Okay, I give you 3 names for Rad.
We have 10 players we need to unload, and you guys are talking about McKennie and Kulusevski. Come
10
on,
players. 10
Farad.
players. You really think so?
5 at least. that you
Rabiot,
could go.
Rabiot, Morata.
What are those
Demiral.
questions? Who
Rabiot.
goes?
So no, I ask you, Rabiot, Morata, Demiral. What do you do with these 3 players?
I love Rabiot. I'm not gonna lie. I really do enjoy seeing, and I wanted to give him a shot. I think I interrupted you. I apologize. It's Rabiot. You know, we need to remember his goal against Milan last solo run. That was beautiful. But obviously, that's not the reason. You said Rabiot. Who else? Demiral. Who else?
Morata.
Oh, Morata for sure.
It's not the choice. Huh? What do you do with the 3 players?
Oh, it's not a choice. All
Yeah,
right.
this isn't kill, marry.
Yeah.
No. It's
I think-
just,
What are you
what
doing
do you
with
do
each
with
of
them?
them?
I think, against my wishes, Rabiot is gone. I think he's going to EPL. Demiral stays, and damn, who's the third player?
Morata.
Alvaro, Morata.
Morata. You extend him for 1 more year, and then he goes back to Atletico. I don't think he's a long-term solution.
Yeah. Can we get an Alvarito?
Alvarito.
Alvarito? Yes.
Andrew is saying, sell Demiral and get Romagnoli in exchange of Bernardeschi.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of Romagnoli, but
It also
in the
depends who you get. I feel like
right?
sorry to interrupt, but I feel like all these deals will be like exchanges. It's not going to be cash money. I feel like if someone offers you an X player for McKennie, I think that's where you see what makes a better deal. You know what I mean? I feel
We're seeing a lot more of that. We're seeing a lot more of that in football
Yeah,
these days.
I mean, you look at the deal with Arthur. I mean, I think we've finessed Barca so well, and I think we will continue to do that.
Yeah, as John says, 40 million for McKennie, he's taking it. Throw in Bernardeschi for free. I wonder, Matt, are you partial to McKennie because he wore a Boston Red Sox jersey last week on Instagram?
I mean, I love McKennie. I mean, he's American. I'm partial to him because he's American. That's really I'm biased. So yeah,
I'd probably throw in McKennie among Delict, Kulusevski, and Federico Chiesa, among the players who I wouldn't sell really at any cost right now. With McKennie being the lowest on that list for sure, but I mean, let's just say untouchable or not, they're all untouchable. Sure, any other one you could probably replace. Except, I would. This may be a little bit crazy. People might go nuts in the comments. I would probably add Bentancur to the untouchables because up until this year, we would have thought so. I mean, Giovanni's shaking his head, but up until this year, we totally would have thought so. Maybe under new management. What if Allegri comes back and he goes back to playing the way he was a year ago? He's a 23-year-old player who has upside still. I don't know that he's going to develop a whole lot more as a player, but he might not develop a whole lot more as a player. He might be pretty close to what we're seeing here, but I think in a year or two, there we go. Bepe's a fan. I think in a year or two, he might still have a lot more to give, and I think maybe then that might be a moment if you want to sell him at all, where you might be able to get a little bit more for him. So I'd probably even throw him in there. In terms of guys who have to leave. Sorry, what?
He's so slow.
Now this year he was bad, but he played a lot of time alone. Huh? Like the last game again, he's alone in the midfield, alone, and this is not easy.
I want a question for all you guys. Can you guys name one player that everyone forgot is still on the Juve roster? Who can come up with the most obscure player that we're still paying?
Sami Khedira. Earlier at the beginning of the stream when it was pointed out that I apparently look like Sami Khedira.
Not apparently.
Yeah, exactly. Very evidently. It hit me. Oh my God, he's still on the payroll right now. He's still on the payroll.
Isn't Marco Piazza still on the
Oh my God.
including loan players. Including loan players, that
Yes.
exercise becomes a lot more interesting.
Yeah, no, that's what I was like. Those are play. That's a guy who's been on this team for 5 years, but hasn't played on this team in 5 years. Like,
We're still paying Marco Mota.
are we really? Oh my God. I was like, is this a Bobby Bonilla? Like, you know, he deferred his payments for like 20 years. We're gonna be paying him.
Are we still paying Sadi also?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
Guys,
We have another
I will
year
tell
on.
you. I will tell you the truth. The truth is that we have.
I am sorry.
I am sorry. We have two different things that will decide all the Mercato. The first one is, will we finish in the top 4, yes or no? And the second one is, who will stay or leave between Cristiano Ronaldo, Dybala? Both of them can leave. Both of them can stay. One of them can leave, yes or no. So these will be the real decisive things. And speaking about the Dybala and Ronaldo, guys, because this is an important one. What do we do with them? Keep both, sell both, or one of them has to go?
Can I take this first? Because I know
Sure.
Giovanni's going to have a lot to say on this. Really quickly, like I think the rest of the team, honestly, except for the 5 that I named, you guys all agreed that it was De Ligt, Kulusevski, Federico Chiesa, and McKennie. I added Bentancur in there just to recap. I think other than those guys, anyone can be for sale. I don't know that anyone should be definitely get rid of. I know some people think that Bernardeschi has to go. I actually don't think that's the case. I think he has value. He has a resale value that we might be able to go get. I understand if you want to get rid of him, but I don't think it's absolutely compulsory. I mean, maybe some of the guys that are coming back on loan, like Rugani, De Sciglio, Douglas Costa, I mean, them I think we could probably get rid of just because it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to be paying them to not be offering us consistent top level football or be healthy in the case of Douglas Costa. So I actually don't think it matters what we do as long as there's some kind of clear mandate as to what we're going to do with the funds. So I don't know that we have to get rid of anyone other than for maybe financial reasons, but I don't know that for technical reasons anyone in the side should necessarily be forced out. But I think there are a bunch of players who we could totally categorize as disposable. Mm-hmm. Obviously, Dybala and Ronaldo aren't really. I mean, they're kind of more on the catalyst side than a guy like Ramsey say. But
we need to do whatever happened. We need to do an organic 100 million plus Valencia. This is basic from Juve because it's a mechanic that we need to do. Because it's like that every single year because we took a decision at a certain moment. We have no entries anymore, or not the same entries except of sponsors. 100 million, you have to do it in plus Valencia. Unfortunately, yeah? And that's why, a lot of people doesn't understand why did we sell Spinazzola, Moise Kean, and etc., etc. It's because, unfortunately, Juventus went into a cycle where 100 million of plus Valencia, it's standard. And from there, then you start to build, to sell and to buy because you want to do Mercato. But the 100 are for sure. So, or you can do it with a Dybala. How many can you sell Dybala after this season in his last year of contract if he doesn't extend? 50 max. So it's if you sold him like 2 years ago, probably you would have hit 80, 90. Now it's hard, huh? So you have to be creative with who do you sell just to do plus Valencia, and that's why you hear the names of Demiral, who is already 2 seasons with Juve. We took him for 80 million for Sassuolo. He's one of the guys that can bring you some money. A McKennie, for example, it's not worth 60 million. So I agree that for him, it makes not a lot of sense to sell him. And he's also, the first part of the season was really great and a big surprise. But you have to think who's there to bring you some money.
To me, no, come on, man.
Yeah, but you said that's easy 100 mil right there.
You said De Sciglio, but it's true that we also have the problem of the Mercato boomerang, like I call you, because De Sciglio, Rugani,
Costa,
Douglas Costa, we have a lot of problems to fix that we didn't fix last year because we gave them on loan. We saved on their salary, but they are back, huh? Guys, except of De Sciglio, they are speaking for 3 million to Lyon. Guys, what do? It's a zero operation. So it will not be an easy one. And Thomas was saying, And now we are going into one of our last topics before ending. He said one of the important thing will be the UEFA decision also, because without Champions League, if you don't reach him in top 4, or if you are out because you decided to be out, will decide a lot, because then forget about maybe a De Ligt or a Cristiano Ronaldo. Then you start building from scratch, because Raiola is great when you have him at your side. If you don't have him there, it can be a really difficult one. So it's an important one, the decision. So you heard today the statement of Juve, Barcelona, and Real Madrid.
Yeah, I read it.
So yesterday, just to give an explanation to the people that are watching, and then we go into that topic. So yesterday, UEFA they praised actually the 9 teams on 12 that went back. So every team except of Juve, Barcelona, and Real Madrid, praising them, saying them, we forgive them. They are back. They were stupid, and they admit that they were wrong. So now they will have to pay a fee of 15 million euro. We don't take that money because we will give them in building new playgrounds and across Europe. So that's what they want to do with that money. But they also say that for next year, 5% of their entries of UEFA will be cut off. Okay. They also had to sign a document that say that if they are again taken and do really strange ideas, are not respecting UEFA rules, they will have to pay a fee of 50 million, 50. If they plan again to incorporate or to integrate the Super League, they will have to pay a fee of 100 million to UEFA. So they signed it. Today, this morning, we saw a statement of the 3 last standing clubs, Real Madrid, Barcelona, and Juventus, shared. It's the same in whatever language, where they opened actually, and it was super professional, because if in one side you really had the threats of UEFA, on the other side you had a really professional statement that were saying, actually recapping that the 3 clubs, they understood and they saw and they continue to have treatments of UEFA. That's 1. 2, that the court in Madrid already said that they are on the side of the clubs of the Super League, saying that by law, and if we really speak about law, they can't do whatever they want just like that. Let me check, because I had another one because I wrote it down. Okay, so that was the first one. The second one, the third one was Super League was set only if recognized by UEFA or in continuity or domestic competitions. It was an opportunity to offer the best possible show. It was also an opportunity to promote women's football that is totally actually underrated by UEFA. They don't care at all. So it was a really big opportunity for that. And they continue to say, and they finish, it's opening. They want to open a dialogue with FIFA and UEFA, but they will not give up. So a lot of things has been said in the statement. What's your opinion about Super League and all the things? Because Alberto is saying, I'm scared. It's a big risk. Yeah, it's 100% a big risk.
I think legally, the as much strong arming as UEFA and FIFA may want to do, I don't think they have enough of a legal standing to do anything. And if I like Real Madrid, Juventus, Barcelona, they're all majorly corporate clubs. So they would have done their due diligence and risk assessment to make a decision on where to stand. And I think that they've drawn the conclusion that they've got enough backing to stand on their own. And I do agree with with the way that the statement read and the way that it positions the point of view of the clubs, and it provided framing, because there's the saying that there's the wife's story, the husband's story, and then there's the truth. Right now we're looking at things from various angles, and absolutely the women's game is not being invested in by UEFA, and UEFA is just, to me, has not grown its focus to really maximize on the sport the way that I think they could have, and the way that these clubs want to. So ultimately, the middle road is the solution. Everybody needs to come back and have that dialogue, because it's obviously that it's obvious that the system was not sustainable. It just was not.
Yeah. Can I interrupt you just a second, because we will go back to Super League, but two things. The first thing, I really want to say hello to Amaf, who's sending me love messages. Amaf, thank you, love you, bro. And the second one,
Love you too.
all the people love you, Amaf. And then the second one is this one, because in press conference we had Pirlo speaking about McKennie. He said he lost weight, something we have put in his head, so he had to lose weight. He's focused and he's more professional than he was when he arrived. But, and here is the big but, he must be professional 100% of the time and not 50%. You want to see his reaction? So, we spoke a lot about McKennie, and that was exactly what I was telling you guys. That for me, I love McKennie. I'm super happy. I want him to continue, but he has to be indeed 100% professional if you are at Juve and not 50%. Sorry, but I wanted to give my shout out and explaining also to Ron, who was saying, did you see the comments of Pirlo on McKennie? Yes, that was my idea. And now going back to Super League, Gio. I listen to what you say. I agree. I think dialogue will be super important. And Infantino, president of FIFA, is also in that mood, in not punishing people, but going. It's hard, huh? Because the ideas of Super League, for me, they are saving football. For sure, going out at midnight with 4 paragraphs where people have no idea what is Super League was probably, in terms of communication, not the best way. They on that way we fucked up and it was not top. But on the other hand, I respect a lot. I don't know what will happen, because with 3 clubs, it's hard to do a Super League. It will be more a mini league than a Super League. But I don't know what will happen, but the idea is really to save football. And I understand the terms of, yes, but we need a competition, and it's not fair that you have 15 clubs that are there fixed, and so on and so on. I totally understand that. But it's true that with generation changes, with we spoke about it, entertainment, and also the financial impact, it's hard. It's really hard, and we have to be creative because we are living in a new era. I really don't like the fact that, and it's really strange, that 9 clubs on 12, 2 days after actually being open and saying we signed and we are in the Super League, they give up. You can be wrong or right, but I prefer Andrea Agnelli, who's really respecting the fino alla fine motto. He has an idea, he believes in it, he fights. Then we can fail or we can succeed with it, but at least you have to respect the fact that he's saying we fight until the end because we have an idea.
Yeah, but one thing I have to say about those clubs that left and waited for offered their apology to UEFA. There's a saying: ignorance of the law doesn't excuse you from breaking it.
Yeah,
you broke it. UEFA made that decision, and it just seems like it's favoritism. It's not fair, especially now with reports that your Champions League final will probably move to England. So there's clearly favoritism going on there. It's a mess, and I feel like it will be a battle, but I think it will be worth it. And the fact that, I'm not going to lie, the fact that Real Madrid and Barca is with us, these top 3 teams, it makes me feel better about it, as opposed to if it was someone that doesn't get a lot of ratings. Because when UEFA realizes, if they do ban these 3 teams, when they realize how much money they will lose not having these 3 teams in the Champions League, they will either decrease the punishment or they will let it go. Because listen, it's a lot of money they're going to be losing for 2 years. No Messi, no Ronaldo. Hopefully next year stays, and whoever the Real Madrid star is, it's not good business.
Do you think it was really, maybe, I don't know, because but do you think it was really something to shake up and to wake up and say, stop, we have enough? And because if you read what they are saying, they are really saying, and that's a really important one. Let me open it. I will not read it completely for sure, but wait, let me show what they are saying. And this one for me was a real eye opener. They are saying here, wait, where is it? Is that the right one? Yes. Wait, first, they are speaking about the threats. Okay, here. The 12 founding clubs share the same concern as stakeholders in European football, particularly blah, 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 blah. And then, okay, it's here. The founding clubs expressly agreed that the Super League would only take place if such a competition was recognized by UEFA and or FIFA, or if, in accordance with applicable laws and regulation, it was deemed to be a competition duly compatible for all purposes with the continuity of the founding clubs in respective domestic competitions. Do you think that maybe it was really because Super League for me, it was not a surprise. How was a surprise, but the Super League was not a surprise. So it's something that they tried already with UEFA to explain we have to go into that system. They always refused. So do you think it was really something like saying, guys, we need to change and we expose ourselves because now it's time, otherwise we will all die. And we want to do it with UEFA, but something has to happen.
Yes. I've been saying this for a while now, and the longer Real Madrid and Barcelona and Juve hold on, I feel like, I don't know, this could all be great. This could all be a great acting job, or they could be very invested in the narrative here, or more likely this was a serious attempt, this was a serious coup d'etat that fell apart. I don't know. But initially, my instinct was that it might have just been a power play. We had a podcast on this a couple of weeks ago, and I was hammering home with all the guys were on. I was hammering home the idea that I thought it was just a power play, and that really the reason why we were probably seeing what we were seeing was because a lot of the clubs in question decided to almost unionize in a way you would see in a workplace, almost, to renegotiate terms of their agreement, which wasn't only the agreement in place for those 12 clubs, but also the agreement for all clubs throughout Europe who take part in European competition. I suspected that it was actually a successful attempted power play, because I heard rumors a couple of days after the news broke that there was apparently an agreement of this massive concession that UEFA made. I haven't really heard a lot about it the past couple of weeks now. Maybe I'm a little bit out of the loop, but I heard that UEFA had made a massive concession to the clubs. Was it Giovanni Farhad? Do you remember the sum in question? It was a couple of billion euro, I think, that was allegedly going to be injected into the competition, which would go toward the clubs. So as soon as I heard that, I thought, well, great. This is, I think, what it was. This is what it was that they were shooting for, and they seem to have got it. What I found weird, and what has kind of tested my theory, has been the fact that over the past couple of weeks, Madrid, Barcelona, Juve have been hammering home the idea that no, like we were adamantly still pursuing this.
Time will tell. Time will tell.
Indeed, it's a beautiful, I think, end of the story at the moment. Time will tell. Let's see. One thing is sure: we have to finish top 4, because if we are not top 4, it makes no sense. I prefer to be kicked out of Champions League if we have to, than being kicked out because we were not even in. So let's first focus on the 4 remaining games of Serie A, starting tomorrow with Milan. We will see what happened also there, because I show it again because I love to show it. Tomorrow this will happen.
But at least it's great quality.
I hope this will happen, guys.
Guys, your commenter here, Vasily, he's very vocal, by the way. He's brought up a great idea that we need to do a watch along all together. I'm so down, because I've been trying to do that with the guys, and how about we do a test run with you?
The problem is, though, is like, if I'm on, like, I use YouTube TV, and you're watching and you're on, whatever, satellite, and like the streams don't match up perfectly, somebody's gonna be like, go on, I'm gonna be like, crap, like
no, but yeah, there he is. But it's not like immediate commentating. We're not commentating the game. We're just giving our opinion after something happens. So I don't think the lag is really that important.
No, it's important. The lag is important.
Oh yeah. So you say no.
don't usually
Giuseppe
go on
does-
Twitter during games
Yeah.
sometimes because of it.
It's gonna be a second, 2 seconds. What's the big deal?
Sometimes but sometimes it's even 20 seconds behind.
Yeah.
And it change all your perception because if someone is and you know, I don't do a lot of watch along personally, but that's my opinion because I go crazy. I go really crazy.
Well, we saw the video from last week. I was going to say Giuseppe's watch along last week was top quality though. You can't deny that. Although Giovanni probably wouldn't want to do it because he doesn't like watching games anymore live. He likes to turn his phone off on flight mode and watch later in the day because he thinks that when he watches games live, he curses the team. Now
He's a jinx.
No, I've changed my mind. We just suck this year, so it ain't me, man. Don't
Well, we've been telling you. That's what we've
Yeah,
been
because you didn't watch the Udinese game, right? And then you tuned in. Did you turn on the Udinese game?
No, I think I watched it, and then I was like, "Damn."
Maybe it was the week
Juve
before.
really
Maybe it was the
suck.
Fiorentina game.
No, it was the Fiorentina game for sure, and I was
And
like,
yeah,
"I'm not even." Yeah,
yeah,
we were down 1-0 like the 80th minute, and Giovanni said, "I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry."
No, but it's hard. No, it's really hard to do to do the watch along, and especially for me because I'm going really crazy. But it's true that, you know, when I'm alone and then I put Cristiano Ronaldo here and I'm touching him, you know, like this, it brought a lot of luck, you know. But
After Ronaldo had that haircut, everything
Yes.
went downhill for him.
it's true. It's true. No, it's hard, and also for the people. I have also another problem is because I don't have a studio. You know, I'm in my home, so when the games are at 9 p.m. Italian time, you know, I have also a family with a son, and I said to my wife, you know what? Maybe I can do a watch along tomorrow. She looked at me and I said, I promise you I will be quiet. And she didn't believe me. And she's totally right because I was crazy with Udinese, Juve. So imagine Juve, Milan. But it is.
Awesome.
And people are saying, you kissing the Ronaldo image got Juventus to win that last week. It's true. It's true.
That's true.
It's
That's
totally
science.
true. So, guys, we do a prediction. I never predict, but if you want to do a prediction for tomorrow's game, so the one that is correct, we will cut it out and we'll put it on Twitter. Otherwise, we are in closing time. Matt, you want to start with a prediction for tomorrow? And after the prediction, you can also say, you know, you can close and say hello to the people for sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 2-0 Juve. Let's do it. Keep the faith. But no, awesome. This has been a blast. Loved hopping on, and the comments have been great. It's just amazing comment section you have.
It is. Thank you for being here, Matt. It was a real pleasure. Thank you, and we will do it soon again. Sam, your prediction and your adios.
Matt, wow, 2-0. I'm gonna go with a 1-1 draw. Boring, but I got to be realistic here. I think we've not done enough to convince throughout the year. I don't know that we're going to be able to emphatically shut out Milan in the biggest game of the year. It'd be a great statement. You know, maybe if Andrea Pirlo does get that win and does roll over Inter in a week, albeit a drunk and hungover Inter. Mind you, they played pretty well today, despite the fact that they seem to have been having a bachelor party all week. Yeah, I don't know. You know, maybe with a full team, we do steamroll them and we steamroll the competition into the last few games.
Dude, stick to your guns, man. 1-1. Stick to
Yeah,
it.
you know, but I don't. Yeah, I've got to go on balance of what I've seen throughout the year. So that's what I'll roll with. But I'll be very happy if I'm wrong in favor of Matt's result. And
Wait, Sam.
yeah, we'll see. Yeah.
Wait, Sam. I took him off 1-1 on the channel. What does he mean? What does he mean 1-1 on the channel, guys?
I get we got optimists only here.
Wait, we can do that? I wish I could do that on our podcast.
You know, that's the fun thing. No, that would be the period. Sam, it was a joke. Come back. So 1-1 for Sam, 2-0 for Matt. I prefer the one of Matt.
Yeah.
And sorry, I interrupted you. Sam.
No, I was just going to say thanks for having us on. It's been absolutely fantastic. Check us out, Turin Giants podcast. I'm the Calcio podcast. Guys, you want to put your ats maybe? I don't know. Giovanni is at Joe Turin Giants. Matt is at Matt Coco with 2 C's. So there we go.
There we go.
At Juve podcast. Boom. Yeah. Thanks for having us on, Giuseppe. It's been an honor. I love your channel. I watch you weekly, man. Love throwing you on in the background. It's a lot of fun. And it's not ASMR, but it's you've got a nice soothing voice akin to the effect I get from ASMR. It's very relaxing. very, very assured. Everything's okay. We're going to talk about Juve, just Juve. It works. I love it. Happy to have been a part of this, man. Thank you.
Look at that. They are even calling you the GOAT now on the channel, Sam.
Jeez. I don't know, man. I thought I said before that Sami Khedira is still at Juve, and that's a disgrace. And somebody rightfully pointed out, I confirmed that he's been at Hertha Berlin since February. I totally forgot. I make a lot of mistakes, but thank you.
No worry. Giovanni, happy birthday again. Thank you.
Woo! Thank you. My prediction is 3-1 Juventus win because we always take a goal, but tomorrow, no, it's a must win. As Giuseppe, as you said, it's about making the Champions League, and that's it. That's the goal. And that's what the team has to do. And so I think it's going to be a win tomorrow. Man, outside of that, man, really appreciate you hosting us. This was great. Loved interacting with your fans, and would love to do it again. This was a blast. Thank you.
Absolutely. Here, Farad is sleepy.
I'm not sleepy at all. Well, it's important to stay level-headed and cold-blooded when you predict a game. So I'm going to agree with Maestro in the comments. 9-0 Juve.
That's a
because I saw.
I
was watching the comments. It was 1-0, 2-0, 3-0, and then I was like, who's gonna just top that? 9-0 tops it. But I'm gonna agree with Giovanni. 3-1. We concede from the corner as always. Ibrahimovic does his song and dance, and then we bank threes. 3 in a row. Hopefully Ronaldo scores. Hopefully Dybala. How awesome would it be?
Yeah.
2 centuries in one game, and then Chiesa comes back and finishes them up. As you know, if you want to talk about the closing arguments or closing comments, you guys, I didn't expect, and I knew people would show up, but this was so much fun. You guys are, we're reading the comments, and you guys are so sweet, and shout outs to all of you guys in the comments. I don't know why you would listen to us, but thank you for doing that. Please check out our podcast. This is basically the atmosphere on our podcast. It's fun. It's we talk about you, we talk about other stuff. We make fun of Sam, and then it's all love. Check us out on all platforms. Turin Giant Podcast, at Juve Podcast on Twitter, at Turin Giants on Twitter, and at Turin Giants on Instagram as well. And thank you for all the kind words. I besides me being sleepy, I didn't see any bad comments, so that's already good. So I appreciate you guys. Giuseppe, you're the best. We will see you on our podcast in about a month or so.
Absolutely, guys. It was fantastic because I tell you, it's a long time ago that I didn't host a lot of people on my channel, because generally I do that on Juventibus with JB World. So I really want to divide the things and not creating confusion. But after the podcast we had together, I said that this is something that I really have to do on the channel. We have to do it again because I had a lot of fun.
Please.
Because speaking about calcio alone is nice. I don't want to be too repetitive, because now we really see everywhere and really great people doing a lot of, of these kinds of format. And I encourage and congratulate all the people doing that. So I don't want to do too much copies, but the vibes that we had was really great. And this is also thanks to the people, because it's not an easy hour. It's Saturday. People are out in Europe because it's a bit sunny now. So Juventus is not in a great shape. But having sometimes even 150, 180 people, it's a lot live. So thank you for all the time that the people in the chat invested with Amaf. RBcoms that was there.
RBcoms was shouting me out the whole live stream. So I want to thank him or her. Really appreciate
Rob
the love.
is really wrong. I understand. He's wrong speaking about Farad. Rob, you have to speak about me, not about Farad. Our friend Ibrahim George Ehrenmann Shinauda from Austria, who's actually scared about the Euro because he say, I don't know if Austria will go out of the knockout stages. Niket, Kils, Anil, Liam, mijn grote vriend van België. Who, hey, met Agnelli Blaven. No, because Liam is sending me some messages as well. He's scared about what Agnelli is doing with the Super League. Andrew for Denmark, Maestro, Andre, Ron Rusitane, cheers at the GOAT, Sam Mikalev, and a lot of people. You were amazing, guys.
I think
Thank
Maestro should put money on Juve at 9-0. I think that's going to happen.
We will do that. Stay safe. GJust Pizza, as always. Ciao, guys. Forza Juve.
Thank you, guys.
Forza.
Thank you. Forza Juve.
Forza Juve. Thank you.